In the Black Out Loud.
The Asia-Pacific family office boom. As huge tranches of family capital fall into the hands of younger generations, fast-growing family offices in the Asia-Pacific region must make some tough calls on their purpose and investment strategies, then decide who is going to help them manage the generational wealth transfer. By Cameron Cooper. This article has been edited for audio purposes. Article begins. A quiet financial revolution is reshaping the Asia-Pacific region's wealth landscape. Analysis from McKinsey & Company suggests that between 2023 and 2030, high net worth HNW and ultra-high net worth UHNW families across the Asia-Pacific region, APAC, will pass on $5.8 trillion $8.8 trillion Australian dollars in assets. This flood of capital will require new levels of stewardship from family members and their trusted advisors. Managing this generational transfer of wealth is likely to contribute to a surge of new single-family offices, the privately held companies that look after a family's financial portfolio, including estate planning, investments, philanthropy and taxes, in jurisdictions such as Singapore and Hong Kong. Deloitte. Private research shows that there are already more family offices in APAC than Europe, and the region is forecast to outpace North American growth by 2030. The bullish outlook is in line with research from global wealth manager UBS concludes that APAC will be the top investment location for family offices globally in the next 5 years, with more than a third of the region's family offices planning to allocate more assets to the area. UBS Global Wealth Manager and Head of Global Family and Institutional Wealth in APAC LH Co. says such trends highlight the importance of succession planning. The key to successful succession planning in families lies in aligning family values with governance structures, while actively preparing the next generation through education and clearly defined roles, says Co. Game changers, Singapore and Hong Kong. In recent years, Singapore and Hong Kong have confirmed their status as the go-to locations for UHNW individuals and families seeking to manage their wealth through single-family offices. The key driver has been their tax-friendly regimes. In 2020, Singapore introduced a variable capital company structure in which capital gains and income generated from the investment vehicle are tax-exempt. Hong Kong introduced new tax concessions for family-owned investment holding vehicles in 2023. The Special Administrative Region does not tax capital gain or offshore profits, and dividend income is generally not taxable. Karina Wong, FCPA, a tax partner for EY in Hong Kong, and CPA Australia's 2025 Greater China Divisional President, says the low or no tax policies in Singapore and Hong Kong have been game changers. Not only are they attracting family offices in both jurisdictions, but they also see it as a means of creating a pathway to tax residency for wealthy individuals from other jurisdictions, she says. Wong notes that many wealthy Hong Kong families didn't officially run family offices in the past and are now formalising their structures. Southeast Asian strongholds such as Malaysia and Indonesia, notably Bali, are also seeking to offer tax incentives to attract family investors. Australian growth. Australia's family office sector cannot match the scale of Asia, but it has experienced growth in recent years. An estimated 2,000 family or private offices are operating in Australia according to KPMG, with the Baillieu and Meyer family's joint firm Mutual Trust, the Victor Smorgon Group, and the Lowy Family Group among the best known. However, new players are emerging, including Skip Capital, the family office of Atlassian co-founder Scott Farquhar and his wife Kim Jackson. David Werdiger, a family office consultant and author of Transition: How to Prepare Your Family and Business for the Greatest Wealth Transfer in History, says more cashed-up young Australian entrepreneurs are hopping on the bandwagon. It is driven by the weight of capital, access to opportunities not available through traditional channels, and a belief that they can do it better, he says. However, families can go awry if they underestimate the skills required to assess and manage investment opportunities, Werdiger warns. They often don't have the expertise to do that, but they think they do because they are successful in other areas. To offset such risks, Werdiger says it is important to understand the purpose of the family office and, in turn, let that objective drive form and function. Taking cues from Asia. The Middle East is another family office leader, drawing from the Asian blueprint of tax breaks and minimal red tape to create a tax-efficient and business-friendly market. Dubai and Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, are now home to maturing family offices that are embracing more institutionalized governance while increasingly hiring expertise to boost their capabilities. Ralph Khoury FCPA is the Dubai-based CFO of Nissan United, an Omnicom global communications agency dedicated to servicing Nissan. He is responsible for the company's Africa, Middle East, India, Europe, and Oceania operations, and says family office lessons have been learnt from Europe and Singapore, especially. I wouldn't say that Dubai has modelled itself on Singapore's family offices, but it has watched and observed the success of Singapore and said, we could mirror, and perhaps even do better than Singapore given our proximity to Europe, to Asia, to India, and to Africa, he says. He credits the Dubai International Financial Centre, a finance hub and an independent free zone, with laying down smart rules and regulations for investment in the Middle East. These parameters provide surety for international investors and family offices, given they follow the common law framework and operate in English. This provides comfort that things are being dealt with in a way that you can govern your business, your investments, and your portfolio in the right way, says Khoury. The impact on banks and asset managers. Banks and multifamily offices have, in the past, taken the lead in serving APAC's UHNW families. However, single-family offices that serve just one family are likely to gain favour due to the high level of customisation and control they offer. While such changes may threaten the role of external banking and asset management services, there are opportunities for banks, insurers, asset managers, and legal advisors that offer cost-effective, personalised, and automated advice. Some wealth tech companies are also thriving as they deploy innovative technologies that enhance the delivery of financial services and improve customer experiences. Co believes wealth management experts will continue to play a crucial role in assisting families with their financing, philanthropic, and sustainable investment functions, while helping the new wave of family members align their personal values with a family legacy. By fostering financial literacy, leadership skills, and a shared sense of purpose across the family, family offices can ensure longevity and success for their future leaders, he says. To prepare the rising generation of family members, Werdiger agrees that financial education and understanding will be important. If they are to be inheritors or stewards of significant family wealth, heirs do need to have a minimum of financial knowledge, and that can be challenging because not everybody has that acumen, says Werdiger. He suggests starting that education as soon as possible to ensure heirs understand the purpose and values of their family office. Although a single-family office may be suitable for UHNW families, Werdiger recommends a virtual family office model for those with 100 million to 500 million Australian dollars of investable net assets, whereby investment professionals are paid on a part-time or contract basis. If it's a virtual team, you're more nimble and more flexible, he says. These individuals come from a very strong investment background and can be virtual advisor or chief information officer to a dozen families or more. This way, you're tapping into their experience across other families. Compared with their North American and European counterparts, APAC family offices are typically younger and more likely to feature first or second generation wealth holders. Given the longer history of American and European family offices, Wong admits that APAC counterparts may lack the long-established governance frameworks seen in the West and be less focused on compliance. She expects the gap to narrow in the coming years as APAC family offices respond to increasing complexity of asset allocation, tax, estate, and philanthropic planning. At the same time, Wong predicts there may still be some ongoing reticence among Asian families to hand over too much control to external advisors. The mindset of Asian families is to have control, and it is not always easy to find someone who can fit into the family culture, understand the business, and provide coaching to the next generation, says Wong. No turning back. What seems clear is that APAC's family office boom is not a fleeting trend, but a structural shift. As significant wealth moves into new hands, the decisions being made in offices across the region will influence financial, philanthropic, and technological investments for decades to come. Corey believes financial security, whether it is in the Middle East, Asia, or elsewhere, will continue to be a strong theme as family offices weigh up where and in what to invest. Dubai, for example, has become a safe haven for people to get away from conflict and to try to build wealth, he says. Everybody ultimately wants the best for their family. Wong says that given the scale of APAC wealth, it will be essential for governance protocols and regulatory requirements to stay up to speed in Hong Kong and beyond. Think of cryptocurrencies. You need to have proper governance of these investments, as well as appropriate obligations to make sure that the family office runs properly, she says. Amid fears of an ongoing trade war and geopolitical risks in the next year, Co urges family offices to team up with their wealth managers to ensure their portfolios are diversified and have an all-weather strategic asset allocation to stay resilient during these volatile times. Werdiger agrees, noting that unpredictable external factors are often lurking in the background. Volatility comes and goes and will always be around, he says. So being aware of macro investment issues and the risk of market dislocations is important at any time. The starting point is to make sure you have a very high-level view of risks across your entire investment portfolio.
In the Black Out Loud.